Today on the channel, we take a trip to Eternia with my top 10 Masters Universe figures of 2021. Welcome everyone, Cowboy Kyle here, back again with another year-end top 10 list, as today we're talking about the top 10 He-Man in the Masters Universe figures of 2021 as voted by me. And of course, we're doing a lot of other lines out there: wrestling, Star Wars, Marvel, Ninja Turtles, the lists go on and on. So check out some of those videos. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, as this is a yearly tradition. I got my best Kenny Rogers Western wear because it is such a celebratory time of year, of course, these countdown videos. And a little caveat to these videos, when I'm counting down my Masters Universe figures for 2021, for me, I'm only counting Masters Universe Origins, Masters of the WWE figures, and then Masters Universe Revelations. The three Mattel lines. I'm not talking about Mondo, some of the higher end stuff. It's just those three that are a part of my top 10. So those are kind of the ground rules. And as always, I'm going to ask you guys in the comments down below, make sure you put your top 10 list, put them in order. What were your favorite He-Man figures, He-Man inspired figures, Origins, Revelation figures of 2021, and put them at number 10 all the way to number 1, number 1 being your favorite. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into the top 10 Masters of the Universe figures of 2021 as voted by me. All right, we kick it off at number 10, and number 10 is an interesting one, a bit of a re-release, a very interesting move by Mattel, but thank you, Mattel, at the end of the day, for righting a wrong. A lot of people, especially on YouTube, have very negative channels. I think we all know that. We try to keep it as positive as possible on my channel because always got to look on the bright side of life. And I know negative videos get a lot of clicks and all that kind of stuff, but when it needs to be negative, I'll be negative, but I always try to see the best in things and the best in people. And I gotta say, Mattel, kudos to you guys for fixing a wrong. Much like Hasbro fixed a wrong, they kind of turned tail on the G.I. Joe classified lines, got more to what the fans were wanting. Mattel with the He-Man Origins line did something very, very similar in 2021. And what am I talking about? Well, at number 10, we've got He-Man Masters Universe Origins. Okay, we all know we had He-Man for a couple of years, but in 2021, they truly listened to the fans, and they re-released He-Man and Skeletor, but we're talking He-Man. He-Man gets number 10 for me, and they re-released him with the original head. That is key. That is He-Man to all of us out there. We love our He-Man. We just weren't there for that new He-Man head sculpt in Origins. It just didn't fit right. It didn't sit right with the He-Man fan base, especially the fans that grew up with it in the 80s. And Mattel, guess what? They listened to that feedback. They listened to it, and they re-released He-Man, and they gave him the corrected head. As of a couple days ago, this was $7.99 on Amazon. Very easy to get. You can hunt around, probably pay $14 retail, whatever retail is right now, $16. You can find this if you want to, but they quickly pivoted, righted a wrong, and gave us the correct head. And you know, the old one is what it is. It's something to have, but this is the one to get if you're only getting one He-Man Origins inspired figure. This is the one. This is the corrected head, and I'm so glad this came out in 2021, and that's why this one is at number 10 on my countdown. All right, we're at number 9, and number 9 is another recently released Mattel Origins figure, a deluxe Origins figure, hitting your Target stores currently, or of course Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description below. I order all my Masters Universe Origins figures via Big Bad Toy Store because I want unpunched and I want mint. That's where I go to get mine, and that's where I went to get this one. Who am I talking about at number 9? Well, I'm talking about Mosquito. Yes, Mosquito, a deluxe one. A very interesting figure. A figure I did not have back in the 80s as a child. This was my first go around the sun with Mosquito, and I really do enjoy this one. I love the blood pumping action. That's cool. Maybe not as cool as the original, but cool for 2021. Extra head sculpt with this one takes it a long ways. You get two different heads. Great effect here that you can class onto another character, drain their blood. And who doesn't love a mosquito? Wait, nobody loves a mosquito. That's why there's off. That's why there's those candles and stuff. But talk about a villain. If there was ever a villain in the insect world, it's mosquitoes. And Mosquito is a great example of this. So I'm here for it all day long. One that's currently on the shelves right now. Be on the lookout for it if you're looking for it. but a solid deluxe villain in the Masters Universe Origins wave, and that's why Mosquito comes in at number 9 on my top 10 He-Man figures of 2021. All right, we're at the number 8 spot, and the number 8 spot is our first entry from the Masters Universe Revelations figures. The Revelations line, a little bit polarizing out there. I see it with my own eyes when I'm out there on the figure hunt every Friday on the channel. Check out those figure hunts. But we see Masters Universe Revelation pretty stocked on the shelves, especially Series 1 still hanging in there. So I don't know the long-term ramifications of this line. It'll be interesting if the series gets picked back up. But I will be the first to admit I do really like some of these figures, and you're going to see them on my list here, the top 10 list, of course. And this one here at number 8 is my favorite character in the Revelations cartoon series. I thought he was done the best. I liked his look. I loved the voice that they gave this character. And who am I talking about? At number 8, we've got Man-at-Arms, Old Duncan, an absolute favorite of mine from childhood. I've had about every incarnation of him throughout the years. Absolutely love this. Absolutely love this figure. It's got the old classic Duncan Man-at-Arms, but brought up into the future for the Revelations cartoon series. He is part of Series 3. So far, I've seen these starting to hit Walmart. Of course, Big Bad Toy Store. You can probably get it right now if you really wanted to. But just a classic inspired, but updated for 2021. A key to the Revelations line, a key hero in the Masters Universe line, any line we're talking about. Just a favorite of mine. I just love the looks of this one as a whole, and that's why he came in at number 8 on my top 10 countdown. All right, we're at the number 7 spot on my top 10 He-Man and the Masters Universe figures of 2021. And number 7 for me, I've liked since I was a little kid. And it's always funny. I always tell the story about this one. I think we probably talked about it when we unboxed it on the channel. This is where my dad, obviously I was a kid, and my dad was buying this for me. And he said, this is where He-Man is jumping the shark. He didn't use jumping the shark. That terminology wasn't quite there yet. But that's what he was getting at. That this was all of a sudden into cash grab territory. And he felt like, hey, they're out of ideas. But this is one that was a simple repaint that ended up stealing young Kyle's heart and has carried him all the way to this day. And who am I talking about, number 7? We're talking Masters of the Universe Origins once again. And we've got Faker. Yes, Faker He-Man. A simple repaint that means so much. Just always love the blueness, love the coloring, but then it looks like He-Man underneath. As a kid, I thought it was the coolest thing, and now today, I still think it is the coolest thing. And it's one of the easiest figures for them to produce. It's just a repaint. Get the most out of your molds. But it just really does work, and I think this set the blueprint way back in the early 80s for a lot of other toy lines in the future about, hey, we can get a lot more out of these molds. We can do some of the same things, little paint differences. So truly a historic figure in that aspect, but just a cool figure, and one I was very happy to have come into the Origins line in 2021. So number 7 for me, Old Faker. All right, we're almost to the halfway point, but we're at number 6. And number 6, we take a return trip to the Masters of the Universe Revelation series. A very good series, like I talked about with Man-at-Arms, and this is another villain in the series. And this one really did blow me away recently on the channel, as we have unboxed every single one of these figures on the channel. So if you want to go back and look, feel free. You can see a little bit more in depth on some of these characters. But number 6 for me from the Revelations line, we got our old pal Steamcore. Steamcore came with 2 heads, a good shield accessory, just a really good look. I mean, he looks like a skunk. He looks like Steamcore brought together in 2021. Just a beautiful looking figure, a very versatile figure, and a cool figure. And Steamcore was always a favorite of mine going way back to the original. It's funny, I can't smell for, many different reasons out there. Too many fights back in the day. But Steamcore I can't smell, and I don't believe this one smells at all. The Origins one did not smell. It's just the patchouli oil smell. They've just saved that for the hippies. They're not in the Steamcore figures anymore. But even without the smell, solid figure. You need villains in the lineup. Revelation's starting to really build out some more villains for us. Happy to have Steamcore, a classic villain. Not quite A-level Merman, Beastman, Skeletor, but a very strong B-level villain in the Masters Universe. From where I sit, as you guys know, is right here. And that's why Steamcore made my list at number 6. All right, we're at number 5. We're at the halfway point. Hopefully you guys got your list together. Hopefully you're putting it in the comments down below. Don't forget to do that. And then while you're here, make sure you give it the like, the old thumbs up. We've made it this far. You might as well thumbs up the video and subscribe, of course, all that fun stuff. But number 5 is an interesting one. I've always been such a purist in this figure until 2021. I finally said, okay, this is where I'm headed. This is the one I like. And number 5 comes from the Origins line. Who are we talking about? We're talking about an old favorite. We're talking about Merman. Yes, Merman. Now, this isn't the Merman most of us know. I think that's fair enough. The original toy had the other head sculpt. We got an Origins figure with the other head sculpt as well. But this one is more original, more classic look, I guess, outside. And this one I always thought it looked weird to me because I saw the other one first. And I think that's usually how it goes. But finally, after all these years, this head sculpt, this look of Merman has won me over. That is why he's coming in at number 5. I used to absolutely love the other Merman. But this one now, when I think of Merman, it's converted to this. This is what I want out of Merman. And I do love, just like the other one, they gave him his corncob sword. As a kid, being in corn country, I always thought, why does he have a corncob sword? I can't be the only one out there that thinks that, but whenever I see that, it always makes me smile. It reminds me back to being a little kid, getting that for the first time, saying, this looks like a piece of corn. But it is what it is. But Merman, a very solid Origins figure, a must-have Origins figure, a number 5 on my top 10 Origin figure of 2021. All right, we're at number 4. Can you believe it? Number 4, my top 10 He-Man figures of 2021. And number 4, once again, we've journeyed back to the Revelations line. And we journey to another villain in the Revelations line. Who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about a figure so nice, Kyle bought it twice. Yes, I did. I ended up buying 2 Evil Lyns. Evil Lynn really, arguably, is the star of Masters of the Universe Origins. She had Origins Revelation. Yeah, Masters of the Universe Revelation. She is the star of that series, if you ask me. She had the biggest story arc throughout it all. She was a bad guy. Kind of looked like she was turning good, went back to bad. Just a very, very interesting. I'm not sure if I really enjoyed the last couple of episodes with her change of appearance and stuff. But that's for another day to discuss. But as far as figure-wise go, and now this is my Evil Lynn. I think of that voice. I don't know the actress's name, but she did a phenomenal job in that animated series on Netflix, of course, and stream it right now if you want to. Made me think twice about the Evil Lynn character and what I think of Evil Lynn, and it looked fabulous. Looked fabulous artwork. I think the figures were fabulous. The voice actor, like I said, did a fabulous job. But I couldn't decide between these two heads, and I said, you know what? Between the different hands, the different scepters, the different heads, this truly is a 2-in-1 figure, and that is exactly what I did. Played a little of that long game. Amazon, as I always say, follow me at SirPaul64 on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at _Kyle_Peterson, because Amazon puts up flash deals a lot, and I'll post them in my social media. And I ended up getting here for, I think it was $10.99 about a week or so ago. So played a little of that long game, got a second Evil Lynn so I could have one of each. That's how good this figure is. I felt I needed 2. I wanted to represent both head sculpts. So a fabulous, fabulous figure, and that's why she is much deserved at number 4 on my top 10 list. All right, we've come down to the number 3 spot, and I got to tell you guys, number 3 was originally number 2, then it went back to 3, then it went back to 2, then it went back to 3. Where it is right now, you ask me in a week or in a couple days, maybe he moves back to number 2. I don't know, we'll see. But this one came out in 2021, and we actually got 2 versions of this figure from the Masters of the Universe Revelations line. Who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Scarecrow. Yes, Scarecrow, a fabulous, fabulous figure. Absolutely love him. Really screams heavy metal. He reminds me of something out of the Misfits. Just a heavy metal type figure. A scary skeleton. What more could you want in a toy line? Just absolutely love this. And the Hasbro Pulse, Mattel San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version of Scarecrow is my favorite, but as you guys know, we did get the Masters Universe Revelations Series 3 version. Similar but different, as they say, but this one wins out. I like the green tone better. I like the wire cape on this one. Also, the packaging should be mentioned. You guys know I'm not necessarily a mint on card guy, but the packaging was blow away with the lights and things like that. Just an absolute fabulous, fabulous figure. And it's funny, Scarecrow is a character I didn't really know about a whole lot as a kid. I think I maybe saw his action figure. I never owned it in my life, but it was one of those characters that wasn't in the cartoon, so you really didn't know about him as a kid. And then his legend really grew over the years, and he's become one of the most popular villains in the Masters universe, even having so little screen time. But as we all know, he was in the Masters of the Universe Revelations cartoon series on Netflix here in 2021. But a very, very solid figure, a very cool figure, and a figure that I think is going to be very sought after in the future, as right now you can get him starting to hit Walmarts and of course Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description below, but I think this will be a sleeper one when things are all said and done. You gotta get Scarecrow in your collection, and for all those reasons and a whole lot more, he is number 3 on my top 10 of 2021. Right, we're at number 2, the top 2 He-Man figures of 2021. Make sure you get your list down in the comments below. But number 2, we once again go to the Masters Universe Revelations line, to one of my favorite heroes in all of Eternia. This guy stole my heart a long time ago as a little boy. Some say he stole it with an iron fist. And as you guys know, everybody loves a fist. And who am I talking about? Well, we're talking about Fisto. Fisto coming in at number 2 from He-Man Masters Universe Revelations line. I love this Fisto. A great, great version of Fisto. We also got an Origins Fisto at the beginning of 2021. Didn't quite make my top 10 list, but this one, this is what I think of with a modern, updated Fisto. It looks like the cartoon. It looks like the Classics version should have looked. We got a couple of different, we got the Filmation Classics, which looked really good, and then we get a very solid Masters Universe Classics. That one was just a little bit off. I still absolutely love that figure, but I wish it would have been more kind of in this style at least. Maybe that's just me, but this Fisto is an extremely strong figure. Doesn't have the action adventure of swinging and punching, but just something about a guy with a big old fist. Of course, Man-at-Arms brother, as we all know. I just absolutely love this figure. This one was the crown jewel when it was announced, and even better in hand, and I always love it when things are better than expected. It's always a good day at the office, which I guess this is kind of the office in some ways. But Fisto Revelations should start hitting pegs right now. Big Bad Toy Store has been shipping for a while. Walmart seem to be getting these right now, so if you're on the hunt for Fisto, make sure you check those spots. But number 2, coming in strong, coming in hot, Fisto. Well, we're left at number 1. The number 1 spot, what is my favorite Masters of the Universe inspired figure from Mattel in 2021? And the He-Man universe is always an interesting one. Compared to like G.I. Joe or wrestling, I always feel they are stronger as a whole. Maybe I don't like every single character, but when you bring them all together, they work as a group. Where wrestling, there's a lot of guys you like here, there, mixed around. G.I. Joe, same thing, mixed around. It's not the sum of all of its parts, but for me, it's always been that way with He-Man. It's the sum of all of its parts. And one line you're probably saying, Kyle, you said the Masters of the WWE Universe was going to be a part of this countdown, and you haven't had any representation so far. And that is true, and I do love those figures. I like those figures. I have a loose set. I have a mint on card set as well. I do like those figures, but as a whole, they're awesome together, but each on their own, they aren't my favorite, like to make it into a top 10 list. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense or not, but there was one that stood tall, stood above all the other ones. Maybe you know where I'm going with this, maybe you don't, but my number 1 Masters of the Universe figure from Mattel in 2021 is going to come from the Masters of the WWE Universe line, and it is going to be the Ultimate Warrior. Yes, the Ultimate Warrior. You guys know I love the Ultimate Warrior. You know my wrestling videos and stuff. I am an Ultimate Warrior psychopath. I absolutely love him. So no doubt he was going to be in this list somewhere. I love the Masters of the Universe Ultimate Warriors, both versions of them. But this one is so different than any other Warrior we got in wrestling line or the prior Masters of the Universe line. With the white tights, kind of the cape going on, cape season, running hard, running fast, running free right now. Tremendous face sculpt on this one. Just different colors than expected with the Ultimate Warrior for a whole new universe, the Masters universe, to conquer. This one blew me away. I bought, I think, about every single one I saw on the store pegs. I just liked it that much. It does fit. He does look like he belongs in Eternia. He could fit in against Skeletor and stuff. He fits. And I love the interpretation they gave on the Warrior to give us something different than a Mattel Elite or a Mattel Ultimate, something like that. So this really fits into the Masters Universe world where I said the rest of them, I like them, but they just work all together. This one stands alone as the best Masters Universe figure in 2021 for me. I know this isn't for everybody. I know some people will probably say, oh, you have a top 10 He-Man list. You didn't put a He-Man character at number 1. Well, it does count. It's part of the it's part of canon now. It's part of the Mattel Masters Universe world. So it does technically count from where I sit, but you know, it's everybody's list. Everybody's list's different. But I got to count this one. There's no looking farther than this Ultimate Warrior. I just absolutely love it. And that's why Ultimate Warrior, Masters of the WWE Universe, Walmart exclusive, came in at number 1. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? Can you put a list together? Can you put your top 10 between the 3 Mattel lines that are going on right now? I'd be interested to hear what you have to say, so put it down below. Also, leave any comments if you have anything you want to say about my list, feel free. And then, of course, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. SirPaul64 on Twitter is where you're going to find me. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And, of course, Pro Wrestling Tees, search Kyle Peterson. So there it is. Another top 10 list is in the books, this time the Masters of the Universe. So for the whole Masters of the Universe and Eternians everywhere, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.